So do you also use Typeform to collect the client feedbacks? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to build an AI agent to auto-analyze Typeform client surveys. So over here I'm also running a business and we also use Typeform to collect the client feedbacks, and we used to analyze all of these manually and add them into Google Sheets. But this is such a time-consuming task. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as a new form submission is made in my Typeform account, which is as soon as we receive a client feedback, automatically my AI agent is going to analyze that and further add that into my Google Sheets. That too without any manual efforts. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Typeform, my AI agent and Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So do you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business? Then for that, you have to come with me towards my screen.
Welcome to my screen. So today I'll show you how to automatically analyze client surveys collected via Typeform using an AI agent. So once responses come in and the AI reads the data, identify the patterns and summarize the insights, and further the details are being added right over here in my spreadsheet automatically. This lets you make smarter decisions without spending hours on manual analysis. So yes, if you also want to create this amazing automation, then for that you have to stick to this video till the end. Alright, so we're going to start with a really simple example. Over here you can see that I've already created a Typeform, so I'm just going to open this Typeform and I'm just going to do the test submission. I'm just going to enter all of these details. I'm just going to enter the name. We are going to move on further. I'm just going to enter the email address. Further it is saying which store location did you visit, so I'm just going to select the location, which is Pune. We're going to move on further. It is saying please share what you like the most, so I'm just going to enter the same. The store was easy to locate and the billing was quick. We are going to move on further. It is saying, is there anything we can improve to enhance your experience? So yes, maybe extend the store hours during the weekends and add more products variety in the organic section. And noticing, would you like us to reach out for more feedback in future? So I'm just going to keep it as yes. We are going to move on further. It is saying, would you recommend our store to others? So I'm just going to keep it as yes and click on this submit. And yes, you can see that I've successfully submitted this Typeform, right? And I've successfully completed my feedback. And now what is going to happen is that Pabbly is going to capture the response for the same. AI agent is going to generate the summary and further add these details and the summary right over here in my spreadsheet. And yes, you can see the details have been already added. You can see the name, the email, the store location, what did you like about the visit, suggestions to improvement, would recommend, and over here you can see the summary which AI generated. Smart user gave a positive feedback about a Pune location, particularly appreciating its easy accessibility and billing system. For improvement, they suggested longer store hours on weekends and larger variety of products in the organic section. They mentioned they would recommend the store to others. So as you can see, within seconds in real time, the details have been added right over here. Not only this, the AI agent generated the summary and the generated summary has been also added right over here. That too without any manual efforts, within seconds in real time. So yes, this is the powerful automation which we are going to create in today's video. And if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own business, then for that you have to watch this tutorial till the end. So to do this, we are simply going to open the landing page of Pabbly. So for that, I'm just going to add a new tab and look for Pabbly Connect's landing page by searching in browser pabbly.com/connect. So as you can see that now I have successfully opened the landing page of Pabbly Connect. And now over here I have received two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this sign in, and as soon as we're going to click on this sign in, it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account. And now it is opening my dashboard, and to get started with this automation, we simply have to click on this create workflow. And now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here I want to save the workflow in this folder which says automation, and on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I have already created in which I save my workflows. So if you also want to create a new folder or a subfolder, you can directly go towards this plus icon and create your own. But over here I've already created, so I'm just going to select one from that only. And now for the workflow name, I'm simply going to name my workflow as how to build an AI agent to auto analyze Typeform client surveys. And then we are simply going to click on this create. And as soon as we're going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by our trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger in a particular workflow. Alright, so to get started we are simply going to go towards our trigger step, and now for the trigger application I'm simply going to select it as Typeform. So I'm just simply going to search for Typeform and select it right over here. And now for the trigger event I'm simply going to select it as new entry, and then we have to click on this button which says connect, and now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Typeform account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says connect with Typeform. And after clicking on this blue button over here, you can see that Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this accept and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for because my data is secure with Pabbly. And yes, with this we have successfully connected our Typeform account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And now it is asking me to select the form. So over here you can see the name of my form is customer satisfaction survey. So I'm just going to select the same in my workflow, which is customer satisfaction survey. And now I'm just going to simply click on this button which says save and send test request. And now it is saying waiting for a response, and in the notes it is saying do a test submission / record. So in order to capture the response for this, we have to do a test submission or record. So to do this, I'm simply going to open my Typeform account, and over here in my Typeform account, as you can see that I have created multiple forms. Over here you can see all the forms, but over here I'm just going to create this automation for this form which is customer satisfaction survey. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go towards this three dots and click on this copy link, and I'm just going to copy this shareable link and open this in a new tab. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the test submission. So for that I'm just going to give the name as test user right over here. We're going to move on further. I'm just going to give them the email address. We're going to move on further. It is saying which store location did you visit, so I'm just going to select it as, let's say, Delhi right over here. We're going to move on further. It is saying please share what you like the most about your visit. So I'm just going to enter the same. The store was clean and well organized. The staff was helpful in guiding me to the products I needed. It is asking me for the improvement suggestions, so I'm just going to enter the same too. There was a slight delay in getting assistance at the counter, but everything else was good. Alright, we're going to move on further. It is saying would you like to reach out for more feedback in future, so I'm just going to keep it as yes. And now it is saying would you recommend the store to others, I'm just going to keep it as yes and click on this button which says submit. And yes, with this we have successfully submitted this, and with this we have successfully did the test submission. And now what has happened is that Pabbly has captured the response of my test submission. So I'm just going to open my workflow, and yes, over here you can see that Pabbly has captured the response. You can see all the details which we entered during our test submission. You can see all the details, and yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step. And now whenever a new entry is submitted in this form, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered. Alright, so with this we are going to move on forward. I want to build an AI agent to auto analyze Typeform client surveys. So for my action application, I'm just going to select it as my AI agent, which is OpenAI. So I'm just going to search for OpenAI right over here and select it right over here. And after selecting this, it is asking me for the action events. So I'm simply going to select it as ChatGPT and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection. And now it is asking me for the token. So over here in the token, I'm just going to simply follow the help text to get this. It is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So I'm simply going to go towards this OpenAI API key page to get the API key. And after coming over here towards this OpenAI API key page, we have to go towards this create new secret key button. And now it is asking me for the name of the key. So let's say I'm just going to name this key as survey. So I'm just going to name this key as survey right over here. I'm just going to select the project and click on this create secret key button. And now you can see that with this our secret key has been created. So I'm simply going to copy this key and then we're going to paste it right over here in our workflow. And yes, now after pasting this API key, we are simply going to click on this button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And now it's asking me to select the AI model. So over here, I'm just going to select my AI model as GPT-4. You can select any another of your choice. And now it is asking me to enter the prompt. So I'm just going to enter the prompt with the help of which I'm just going to get the analysis of this survey. And yes, with this, we have successfully completed our prompt which says you will be analyzing the customer survey responses for each entry. Generate a sentence that includes the following. All right, you can see that I've successfully given the AI agent the instructions. Now we are going to move on further. Over here, I'm just going to enter the feedback which we have received. So I'm not going to enter the feedback manually by typing it like this, but instead we are going to map it. So you must be wondering what is mapping. So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Typeform as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we are going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. So I'm simply going to map the name first right over here, which is test user. Then we're going to map the email, which was testuser55@pabblytudes.com. Then we're going to map the store location right over here, which was Delhi. So I'm just going to look for the store location. You have to keep in mind that you only have to map this answers, all right? And now I'm just going to map the rest of the details, like what did you like about the visit. So I'm just going to look for the same and map it. We're going to move on further. We're going to map the suggestions to improve right over here, which was this. So I'm just going to simply map it. So you have to keep in mind that you only have to map the answers, all right? We're going to move on forward. We are going to map this would recommend right over here. And after mapping all of this, we are simply going to click on this save and send test request. And after clicking on this save and send test request, yes, you can see that my AI agent has generated me the summary, which is saying test user from Delhi store was overall satisfied, praising the cleanliness and the organization and the rest of the summary. And now I'm just going to simply add this summary right over here in my spreadsheet. So to do this, I'm just going to add another action step. And now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. And then for the action event, I'm just going to select it as add a new row and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection. And now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And now Pabbly is asking me to select my Gmail account. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account. And now after selecting my Gmail account, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on this allow Pabbly is safe. And yes, with this we have successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly Connects workflow. And now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet and the sheet. So for the spreadsheet, I'm simply going to select it as customer survey responses and summaries right over here. And now I'm just going to simply select the sheet 2, which is sheet 1. And now we're going to move on further. It is asking me for these details. So I'm simply going to map all of these details. I'm just going to map the name, then we're going to move on further, and I'm just going to map the email. We're going to move on further. I'm just going to map the store location right over here. You have to keep in mind only map the answers, all right? Then we're going to move on further. I'm just going to map what did you like about the visit to right over here. So as you can see the same, so I'm simply going to map it. We are going to map the improvement, which is the suggestion of improve improvement. So I'm just going to look for it in the previous response and map it. We're going to move on further. I'm just going to map this would recommend to, and as you can see the same, so I'm just going to map it, and now I'm just going to map this generated summary which my OpenAI generated. And after mapping all of these details, we are simply going to click on this save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to do so, yes, with this we have successfully added these details into our Google Sheets. So now I'm just going to open my Google Sheets and check for the details added. And yes, over here you can see the details have been added right over here into my Google Sheets. You can see the name, email, store location, what did you like, suggestions, and the generated summary has been added right over here into my spreadsheet. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this workflow, and now whenever a new entry is received from my Typeform, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered. My AI agent is going to generate the summary for the same, and further we can add all of these details into our Google Sheets, that too without any manual efforts. All of this will happen in backend, right? We just have to sit back and relax. Like I showed you in the starting of this video, this is going to happen within seconds in real time. As soon as the form is submitted, the details would be added into this Google Sheets. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our workflow, and now go and try this amazing automation for your own business. And if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. And for your reference, I'll just simply clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching, everyone.
So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can integrate many more applications. So if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this website. And if you find our videos helpful, do like and subscribe our channel. Thank you for watching.